listening to Florida Songwriters Association Podcast. Your main source for music industry news, networking, and business education.
Welcome to Florida Songwriters Association Podcast. I'm your host, Steve Lane, and my guest today is entertainment attorney Michael Epstein. We will discuss copyrights and music publishing. Michael is one of our board of directors and our legal counsel for Florida Songwriters Association. Michael, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, Steve. Thank you for having me. Just a little bit about myself. So my background is in music performance. I started as a DJ, event promoter, and musical artist. I have a lot of experience in event production. I ultimately, evolved and added the entertainment attorney notch to my belt. And so now I work in the music space and entertainment spaces, pretty much internationally, and create an interesting mix of all of those components to create the day-to-day.
As you can see, Michael is very knowledgeable in the music industry. And Michael, let's get right into it and discuss why is it so important to copyright your songs?
Absolutely. Well, the first thing that a songwriter or a singer-songwriter would have to know is that as soon as you fix a original piece of work into a tangible medium, in other words, as soon as you're writing the lyrics down, as soon as you are, programming the instrumental into a sound, into an audio file, you already have what is called a common law copyright. So as soon as you fix it into a tangible medium of expression, it has some level of protection. Now, the reason that we go ahead and we register our copyrights are for the purposes of defending our copyrights. It makes it, easier to enforce your rights. You're able to take it to court in this instance, and also to put people on notice that, if these songs, the compositions or the sound recordings are being utilized, your names are there, or your name is there in the registry to direct payment accordingly. So with that said, everybody should also know that there are two different copyrights in every piece of music. There is a copyright to the sound recording, and there is a copyright to the composition. So every single piece of music has two pieces of intellectual property, right? And so what's the difference between these two copyrights? All right, well, the composition, the composer copyright, it's like a recipe. These are the building blocks to the song. These are the ingredients, the music, the beat, the melody, the lyrics. This is like the recipe of how you bake the cake. Now, how does that relate to the sound recording? The sound recording is essentially the way that the artist puts these ingredients together to bake their own version of that cake. So we take the recipe, we do our version of it in the studio, and out comes the sound recording. Those are the two copyrights in every piece of music.
Now, what if they want to know where to copyright their songs? Where should they go? At the Library of Congress? Is that correct?
Library of Congress, you can go ahead, their website makes it very accessible, and you can go ahead and register your copyrights there for different fees depending on what it is that you are copywriting. Are you copywriting in a collection? Are you copywriting just a single work? And you can just take it from there. But it's pretty accessible and it's online. Copyright.gov, I believe, is the site.
After you copyright your songs with the Library of Congress, you will receive a copyright certificate?
You will. The copyright registration does follow. And then you're pretty much ready. You stow that away into your records, and you are ready to protect your work if ever the need arises.
It's now time to take a break for a song that was written and produced by Florida-owned Darwin Brascom called Orlando Strong.
Standing in the middle of darkness and searching for closer as pain surrounds you. But as we come shoulder to shoulder, the whole world stands with us.
Oh, our city beautiful, we are victorious. Yeah.
Unified, we stand as one. Our hearts are strong. Orlando's strong. Orlando's strong. Orlando's strong. Orlando's strong. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We find healing in the arms of acceptance. Differences are cast aside. Holding on to what really matters. There's strength inside. Yeah. As we come shoulder to shoulder, the whole world stands with us. Oh, I see the beautiful. We are victorious. Unified, unified. We stand as one. We stand as one. Our hearts are strong, so very strong. Orlando strong. Orlando strong. Unified. We're unified. Stand as one. Yeah, yeah. Our hearts are strong. Our hearts are strong. Orlando strong. Orlando strong. Orlando strong. Orlando strong. Oh, yeah. Orlando strong. There is a bond when we come together to pull through whatever. We're not alone. Oh, because now and forever, we've got each other. Oh, yeah. Our hearts are strong. They're strong. Unified. Stand as one. We got to be one. Our hearts are strong. Hearts are strong. Orlando strong.
Yeah, unified.
Unified. Stand as one. We stand as one. Our hearts are strong.
Our hearts are strong.
Orlando
I would like to thank our sponsor, entertainment attorney Michael Epstein, for sponsoring Florida Songwriters Association Podcast Episode 2. You can contact Michael at mepsteinlaw@gmail.com or social media at DJMix305.
You're You're listening to Florida Songwriters Association Podcast.
Your main source for music industry news, networking, and business education.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Steve Lane, and my guest today is entertainment attorney Michael Epstein. Michael, let's talk about mechanical royalty. A songwriter receives a mechanical royalty from the sale of a song on an album or a legal digital download. This rate is set by a copyright royalty board made up of 3 judges who meet every 5 years to set rates. The original mechanical royalty was established in 1909 and set at 2 cents. Today, the current rate is 9.1 cents, typically split with co-writers and publishers. Is that correct?
That's exactly right. So just for some, I always when we speak, I always love to zoom out because we never know who's listening, and I always love to make our talks accessible to somebody at any level, right? So when we talk about mechanical royalties, let's demystify that. So first of all, we're talking about the composer copyright, and we are talking about the fee that is paid to the writer in order to put that composition on a copy, on a copy of a recording, whether that be a CD, whether that be a piece of vinyl, what have you. That's exactly what the mechanical royalty is.
So let's talk about performance royalty. A songwriter receives a performance royalty when their song is performed on a broadcast radio, in live performance venue, or online streaming services in the United States. Performance royalties are paid out through performing rights organizations as ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC, which are governed by the consent decree. Is that correct?
100%. Okay, so guys, to those who are listening, we're going to make it simple again. So the performance royalty, how I want you to organize that into your mind is it fits under the composer copyright again, at least initially, and we'll get to the exception. And public performance essentially is when the composition is played in any setting that is larger than your living room in front of your family, let's say. So when you hear it, on the TV use, when you play it in a live set, when you hear it in an elevator, when you hear it in the radio, these things are called public performances. Now, traditionally, we have these royalties paid out by our PROs for the public performance of the composition only. However, there is a little bit of a cutout because we also have what is called a digital performance royalty. And essentially, at least in this country as it stands, that is essentially a public performance royalty for the master recording on various online formats.
Thank you for explaining that to us, Michael. And now it's time to introduce the next song and the reason why I selected this song. With the COVID-19 pandemic and protesting for civil rights, we need a song for healing our country, and this song is called Prayer by Chanel Haynes.
Where are you when I needed you most? I feel lost with no place I can go. Wishing you were here with me tonight. You promised me that you'd be by my side. I'll be honest, my faith is at its low, and I know you've come through for me before. I know I go back and forth when I pray. My walls have fallen, now Lord, have your way. So I run to you. Only you can breathe into this heart of mine, set it free with wings to fly.
fly. Father, hear my prayer tonight. I have nothing if I don't have you. You're my reason, my song, you're my truth. I'll forever turn my face toward you. Restore my joy, Lord, please make me new. Oh yeah. So I run to you. Run to you. Only you can breathe into this heart of mine. Set free with wings to fly. Father, hear my prayer tonight. I grow tired, I grow weak, but I place my life, it's all in your hands. I'll live for you, I'll stand for you, and Lord, through it all, I'll run to you. Lord, I need you. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Welcome back, and we're here to finish our discussion on music publishing with entertainment attorney Michael Epstein. Michael, a songwriter may go years without receiving royalties. If they have a hit song, the federal government says that the songwriter must receive royalties immediately after they are collected. This means a songwriter might receive most of their income from a song in one calendar year, making that income subject to a high income tax bracket. Other creators, such as book authors, can negotiate the terms of their payments over several years of tax purposes. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that the royalties definitely come as the spins accumulate in this kind of a way. I definitely, it should follow a natural stream according to the usages of the copyright, but I don't see why any songwriter would want to defer their royalty payments either. As independent musicians, I think that's pretty much what we're talking to for the most part in this lecture. We all have mounting expenses, and so it's always important to have those revenue streams come freely.
Thank you, Michael. I would like to announce our final song called "Walking on Sunshine."
It's my life I'm giving. It's the dream I'm living. Oh, it's a journey every day. I'm just trying to find my way. I hear so many opinions about how I'm living. Well, they can say what they want to say. It's all good at the end of the day. I don't let it take my pride. I don't let it hold me down. Oh no, I got to keep it moving. Sometimes you gotta just laugh and let it all go. Just let it all go. No time for second guessing. I'm moving forward, progression. Let them say what they wanna say. I'm on the way. I don't let it take my pride. I don't let it hold me down. Oh no, I got to keep it moving. I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I know where I'm going. I'll be alright, I'll be okay. I'm just walking on sunshine. I guess that's the way it goes. I suppose I'll be alright, I'll be okay. Ooh, I'm just walking on sunshine. I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I know where I'm going. I'm gonna be okay, yeah. Gonna be okay, yeah. I'm gonna be okay. Ooh, yeah. I'm walking on sunshine. I'm walking on sunshine. I'm walking on sunshine. I'm walking, whoa,
Yo, what's poppin'? It's your girl Cardi B.
This is Drizzy Drake, your number one Songwriters Association podcast.
I want to thank entertainment attorney Michael Epstein for being our guest today. And our next guest for episode 3 will be Miss Vernice Watson, president of the Artist Company International. We will discuss Gospel Goes Classical, the brand. If you are an independent artist or songwriter that would like your songs played on Florida Songwriters Association podcast, please submit your songs to indiesongs@flsw.org. And thank you for listening to Florida Songwriters Association podcast.